What is up, everyone? It's been, I don't know, a year, something like that, since I posted a video. We have a huge fat boy to build. This is a 7.5-inch upscale. Taylor and I picked up a couple of them at Midwest Power last year over in Illinois. We each got one. He went ahead and cut me some fins and some centering rings for it, and now we're going to be drag racing them at Airfest on K1000s, so it should be pretty cool. It's got a 75 in it, obviously. That's how I'm putting a K1000 in it. We leave in like 4 days, so I kind of have to build this right now. Yeah, there's a few things that we got to do first. For one, these are, I believe, 3/8 ply. There's 3 of them. They're all taped together, but I think they're 3/8 ply, and I don't know if you can tell. Those fin slots are not 3/8, maybe 1/4 inch, maybe 3/16 actually. So we gotta widen those. I got to add a U-bolt onto the forward centering ring. Also have to put one onto this bulk plate and then cut a big hole into this bulk plate. And it'll go in the nose cone, and that's where my electronics are gonna go. I have an idea in my head for how that's gonna work, but we don't need to worry about that right now. I'll design that another time, maybe tomorrow, maybe tonight, who knows? But I don't have a lot of time. So I need to build this. I can paint it at Taylor's, that's fine. But I need to have it basically done and assembled is the goal. I'm gonna use 5 minutes to put everything on, and then I'll do internal fillets, maybe with West, maybe with rock epoxy because it dries a little quicker, and Braden offered to let me try it. I've never used it before, so I might do that. External fillets will be done with West. I think that's it. We have a rocket to build. We have not a lot of time to build it, so let's get right to the point.
Someone out there, I'll pack my bags to Rio. She's a dancer, but I'm a drummer. I'm lost in this world, but I found myself in Rio. On a blanket across the ocean. Ooh.
Okay, all the rings are fitting how I want them to, so we're going to get the first one glued up. Before we do that, I'm going to wipe everything down. I'm going to be putting an aero pack on this, so that means this one will just sit flush, and then the aero pack will get bolted onto this back centering ring. I'm going to use 5-minute epoxy for this, which I think I already said in the beginning, but I'll reiterate it, that's fine. Epoxy doesn't like to stick to plastic bags, so if you put down a plastic bag, then you can get epoxy wherever you please, and it won't stick to it. It'll just peel right off of it. It's fine. I'm going to use the fin as a level surface because I know that this table is not level. So, let's wipe everything down. That's good. Alright, I'm gonna go get this epoxy off of my hand, and then we get to work on this centering ring because it needs a U-bolt in it. Okay, top centering ring. Here is the U-bolt that I'm going to be using. It needs some holes in it, so I'm just going to kind of set it where I want it to go, roughly, and then just push down and kind of rock back and forth. And that, I don't know how well that's going to show up on camera, but there's a couple little dimples there. So I can just go ahead and drill those out, and the U-bolt should fit nicely. Yeah, that's all there is to it. It's not too hard.
Pull me back. Whoa.
Alright, well it's tight, but it fits, so that's fine. That's all we need. There we go. Oh, it's a little crooked. That sucks. See if this epoxy's dry. Not quite. It's almost there. Yeah, not quite. It's real close though, so that's fine. Next thing, what do I need to do? Oh yeah, right. These fin slots, as I mentioned, are not big enough. You can see that doesn't go in there, and also I'm going to slot them all the way back, so that way I can do internal fillets outside of the rocket with the whole motor mount assembly out of it, and then slide it all in and do the externals. So I'm going to take some calipers and just mark a line with the difference. Then we'll take a Dremel, we'll cut some bigger slots. I don't think this distance is the same, unfortunately. It's close, but not quite, so it is going to have to come forward just a little bit. That's fine. We can handle that. There we go. Alright, I'm going to go get calipers, mark that out, and then we'll get these cut.
I decided that what I was saying during this clip was a bunch of poorly worded, nonsensical bullshit, and that I wasn't going to make you suffer through it, so instead, you get voice over me to quickly explain these numbers. First of all, we've got the fin thickness minus the fin slot thickness, and this tells us how much wider we need to make the fin slot. Then we've got the measurement from the back of the fin to the front of the fin tab, minus the total of the back of the airframe to the forward end of the fin slot to tell us how much longer we need to make the slots. All that's left to do now is to cut it without checking the measurements.
Let's not do that yet. I got overexcited. I forgot this epoxy was probably dry. So as you can see, if I could talk, that's nice and flush now. It's pretty well on there. A little bit of epoxy got into the inside, but I caught it while it was still green and was able to just kind of slide this around and cut that little bit out. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Aeropack will go on there. Real nice, hopefully. But that's good. Even kind of wound up with a nice little fillet, so I might not have to actually do a fillet, which is sick. Shout out using too much epoxy. Big fan of that. Okay. Sorry if I sound muffled. I have a mask on. Got the first one cut and realized halfway through the cut that I didn't even check it before cutting. but it seems like it all worked out, so that's good. Yeah, that is seriously perfect. Little tight. Little tight. Ooh. You know what? Hold on. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get the other two cut, hopefully a little closer than this one so that my fins actually fit without me having to sand, because I don't want to do that. Okay, I got all of them cut. I can already tell you, like, that's not straight, but that's fine. That's okay. Just like videos and pictures, we can fix it in post. Okay, tape is on, as you can see. Basically just makes it so that this centering ring can't slide any farther past that tape line. Plus, it'll kind of leave a fillet there, which we don't want because the fin roots, fin tabs are going to meet right there in that corner. So you can just peel the tape off before it cures fully, and it will pull that little bit of a fillet with it. So it works out really well. One of my favorite tricks. Yeah, I wipe down the surfaces. I'm not really too worried about it. So like the fact that they just touched, I don't really care. I'm gonna figure out where I put the scale, because I set that somewhere. And then we'll mix up some epoxy and make these two pieces one piece. Oh, found the scale. Here we go. We'll wait for that to set up just a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and we'll pull that tape off. Okay, that is on there nice and tight. So next order of business, I'm going to put a little bit of epoxy onto the threads and then tighten down those lock nuts just to really make sure that never comes off, and then we can put the fins on. The biggest thing here is I have to make sure that this U-bolt doesn't line up with any of the fin slots. So I'm going to try and center it between two. So that way we don't have any issue with that. That is in as far as we really need it to be. I didn't wipe it down. I'm gonna do that. Ooh, I lied. Before that, I'm gonna sand the fins where the fillets are gonna go, because I don't want to do that once it's in there. So I'm just gonna do that real quick. And this to keep it from rolling anywhere. I can make sure we've got it straight up. Make sure our fin fits, which it does very nicely too. That one's a little tighter. I like that. So we're gonna put this one right there.
I woke up in the pouring rain. My clothes are dry, my face is numb. I fell into a rabbit hole where no one even knows I'm here.
Okay, there it is. Pulled it out of the airframe. Looks real good. You can see we got a good root bond everywhere on all the fins. It looks nice. It fits back in. I checked to make sure it's kind of tight, but that's fine. We want it to be tight. So now we're gonna do internals. I'm gonna try out air epoxy. I've never used it before. See how we like it. I'm gonna mix up a fairly small batch and just do one set to try and get the hang of it. I'm gonna use a plastic spoon, just pull it along there. It should be fine. I'm gonna go ahead and mix up some epoxy and we'll lay some fillets.
Can't you see me? I'm like an elephant. Can't you hear me? I'm screaming in your ears.
Okay, well, I was gonna pull that with a spoon, but to be honest with you, I don't see a point in doing that. That is fine. It's gonna be hidden anyways. It'll be inside the airframe. And I don't really care enough. I'll just smear it around more if I pull it. So I think that's pretty okay. I gotta say, first impression of rock epoxy, pretty sick. It's a good consistency. It's not too runny, it's not too thick. It's about how I like to mix my West when I do it. Yeah, that seems pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and let that tack up, and then I don't know if it's quite thick enough to do both other batches or both other sets at once. It's still a little runny, but yeah, and that's fine. I'm gonna leave that. I'll do 2 more sets of that, and I'll add some around the bottom ring, top ring, and all that. And yeah, you'll probably see a time lapse of it. So enjoy that. Okay, it is not pretty, if it would focus. There it goes. It's not pretty. None of them are. But, again, that's fine because they're internals. It doesn't matter. They don't need to be pretty. They're going to be hidden by the airframe. So it is what it is. Yeah, I'm going to let this set up for a little bit. I'll let the epoxy solidify. Do another fillet right there on the back of the forward ring. And then we can can go ahead and get this whole thing glued into the airframe right there.
Things don't seem to blow my way. Can hear the dogs from where I lay. Look at 'em run, then watch me fly. I guess I must be a ghost. Can't you see me? I'm like an orphan. Can't you hear me?
Okay, almost time for more fillets. Here's what I use. It is a 24mm socket. Should be big enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hilariously large marker and draw on it for fun. Now if you cover this with some sort of marker, then you can slide this on here like that. And then you have a nice line. I don't know how visible that is on camera. I'll give you a better angle in a second. Okay, there's a better view of it. As you can see, it just makes a really crisp line. So that's where my tape goes. And yeah, super easy. You just wipe all this off of your socket. Works really good. Let's do some fillets.